Hold on. We got to look it back in the comments. Welcome to the Writing Gals podcast. We are super excited that you have decided to join us for our Q&A that is sorely lacking in Q's. So if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them up here on the screen and we'd be happy to answer them. Or you're just going to listen to us or talk to each other for
however long.
Which we can do.
Which we can do. That's fine.
But we would love to feel like helpful. So please give us some questions. Any questions about writing, publishing,
or goals? Or you can tell us your goals. One of my favorite things to do when I meet people is I ask them their goals. So the next time I meet them, I can ask them, did you fulfill those goals?
She does. She pins them in a corner. She doesn't let them go. So they feel all of their ambitions and their, dreams and hopes.
Yeah.
And
it's called manifesting. You say them out loud, you're more likely to do them. So while we wait, let's talk about what we're doing. And since Victorine missed what she was doing last week, we'll have her go first.
Oh, yes. Well, I am working on a YA paranormal story, which is completely different than anything I've ever written before. But it's been super fun. And I think I'm like 5 or 6 chapters in. And I'm thinking about putting them up on Kindle Vella. So I'm still waffling on that, whether I want to do that or not, trying to decide if I'm solid enough with the story to share it with other people yet.
I'm the devil on your shoulder. I'm like,
yeah, Michelle's like, just post them, go ahead. But it's super fun, and I am really immersed in the paranormal world. This is angels and devils and all kinds of fun stuff. So super cool.
Super exciting. We all need those like candy bar books that get us back into like, oh yeah, that's why I like writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So Michelle, what about you? What are you up to?
Amy sat and watched me redo my planner again.
I was like, you actually have to do the things that you're putting on your planner.
I'm like, this is the best form of procrastination because I feel like I'm being productive, but I'm not really being productive. So I am working on 2 Kindle Vella stories at a time. One is my co-written project. One is my new Vampire Academy story called Night Bloom Academy. And they're both live on Kindle Vella now, which means that I have to keep episodes coming. So it's great because I do need something that pushes me a little bit. I'm working really hard on my conference classes, and I hope that after I get those wrapped up in the next week, I will be able to get going on my young adult book again, try to restart and get that going for like the 4th or 5th time. And then my daughter got hit by a car yesterday. Everybody like, cute freak out. No, she's okay. But it definitely took all of my day yesterday. She just got bumped by a car in a parking lot, and she was fine. But I had to take her to the doctor, take her to get x-rays. And so it just seems like life just kind of makes things out of the blue drop in on you, and you think you're going to get a lot done, and then they don't. And so today I'm just really glad that nothing serious happened. And today I'm able to sit here and chat and just look forward to a great writing weekend. I'm going to try and get a lot done this weekend because it's going to rain. So all my craft fairs are getting rained out that I was going to go. I guess the universe gives and takes, right?
That's right.
See, I love rain. So I'm like, oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah. Yes. Gregory, please. If you
we
have
want questions,
please.
Yes, we want them.
If they're about writing, yes, ask your questions.
Go ahead, Judy. What are you working on?
So I've been doing more of my Writing Gals conference classes. I got 4 of them done. I have 1 more to do. And then I've also been working on getting set up as an S Corp. Finally, after 2 years of my accountant saying, you could have saved a few $1,000s if you would have been set up as an S Corp. So finally got that done. And so hopefully I'll be saving a couple $1,000s next tax season. We'll see. And yeah, that's basically what I like, just admin stuff. I haven't really written for a while, but I'm hoping once, I get all my conference stuff done that I can focus on that again because that's what makes me happiest. And so hoping to do more of that soon.
Yep. Awesome. Just watching your new book out, like we all obsess over when we launch a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been doing lots of that.
It makes it really hard for me to write after I launch a book because I'm just so focused on that. So probably more focused than before I publish it. Yeah. If I was more focused before, I would get it published sooner.
Mm-hmm.
So Do
you not want to know?
Go ahead. I was just going to say, so Amy, I know she's looking forward to going home today.
Yeah, so I have to fix our van doors. They're like broken, and so they don't open and close very smoothly. And so it's been at a mechanic since 9 this morning. So I've been at Michelle's house since 9 this morning because I had no way of getting home, and I live so far away. So I am about 10,000 words into my next Magnolia book, which is number 8. It's going to be 9 books, and it's actually coming pretty fast. It's nice when I knew exactly where the book was going to go, so I don't have to really think about a lot of things. I'm really wrapping things up. I know all the characters, all that kind of stuff. So finishing that, I did finish my Rule number 6 book last week, and I uploaded it. I'm trying to upload it to Vella first, just to see if I can get some readers there. I did get reached out to by Radish, so they're going to be taking 3 of my series onto Radish. So I'm opening my world into this whole serialized concept. And what else? I haven't started my conference classes, so don't come at me. I'm going to do that all next week. But I can't even remember what I said I was going to teach. So this will be fun. Well, I'll be
I can pull it up for you right now.
Yeah, we got a Google Doc with that.
So I've just been trying to, and I'm moving a bunch of my books from being in KU to wide, trying to figure out how to best utilize my money. And these books that I have that are just sitting there and not doing anything. So I want them to be making me money, but I don't want to have to constantly be running ads and spending money on them, which is something that me and Bridget are going to be talking about at the conference, about how she is making very good money, like 5 figures a month off of being wide, and with very little ad spend, if none at all. So we're going to be chatting about that type of stuff, which I'm really excited about because I do like being wide. And I do think cycling in and out of wide and KU is a good thing. You find different readers. But because my Kindle or Radish is taking 2 of my wide series for 2 years, I won't be able to cycle it into KU, but that's okay. I like being wide. I'm okay with being wide for now. I'm actually considering moving most of my books wide. And then I got my cover back for my next year's series. So I have my 2 series planned for next year. I'm not going to be, probably putting that for pre-order at the end of this year. And then just taking a break from writing because I have a lot to write by the end of the year. And then after that's done, getting Christmas over and done with, making sure all my Christmas books make me as much money as I want them to make me, and then start the new year fresh. So I'm really coming on the other side of my crazy year hump.
Last year when she said she put up 12 pre-orders or something like that,
It was
and we
only
were
8.
So
Was it 8?
we were
9.
like, okay.
Good
But
luck.
my goal was to have longer series, and I do now. I will have a 9-book series and a 10-book series, which is where exactly I want it to be. And
she's still mostly okay.
yes, I am mostly sane. And I'm going to be moving again next month. So I'm really excited for 2022 because I feel like that's going to be when I can maybe finally take a breath and just be settled where I need to be, have things moving forward. But 2021 has been a good year for me too, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Behold, we have a question.
Do.
Yes.
All right. So Gregory asks us, maybe.
Oh, me too.
I am a Michelin star chef, been working on a book in my spare time for the past year. It's about to get done. How do I know when it's done? How do I get it out there? And how do I get noticed by publishers?
We always recommend that after you finished it, that you start with finding a few readers that are going to tell you if it's good or not, or things that they think you can improve. Just start getting some people to tell you, how you did with it. And then after you've been through a little bit of editing on your own, then you should start finding the process of either pursuing an agent or finding an editor. And so it would be a good time for you to start looking into publishing options, like if you want to go indie or if you want to go the traditional route. And we actually have quite a few podcast episodes that talk about the benefits of both traditional and indie if you want to check those out. Anybody else have anything that they want to tell him?
Judy just switched things up.
No, I didn't try to. I guess my internet's just being really weird today. I just had the thing circling.
Just
and circling.
tired of being on top. Just wanted
I guess. I want to be alone on the bottom.
You guys stop now, okay?
See, I didn't even get. Okay.
I would say, how do you know when it's done? First of all, I think you should realize that books aren't finished, they're abandoned. So the best thing that you can do to be a better writer is obviously put as much effort as you can into this book. But the things that you have learned in writing this book will help you so much more in your next book. And really, every time you write, you're learning something new. So if you go through beta readers and then you're to the point where you're reading it and you're just moving words or commas or thinking of a different way to describe something than what you already have, that's when I would say, okay, your book is done. Give it to an editor. Always, if you're going to go for traditional publisher, try to work with an editor, get it cleaned up. You want the cleanest manuscript that you can to send any agent. And then you can then take that manuscript and then self-publish it at some point if you're not getting agents. I wanted to get an agent when I first started, and I set a date for myself. If I don't get an agent by March, then I'm going to self-publish this book. I ended up not getting it, and I self-published it. So that would probably be my biggest advice.
So we're going to, I would just refer back any other questions you have. Go back and look at our previous podcast because there's like a lot of information built into that question. And then we're going to go to this other question we have about Kindle Vella. And everybody go ahead and, don't be shy about asking us questions, because we don't want to just sit here. So what are the rules for uploading to Vella, then publishing as an ebook? So the first time when we talked about Kindle Vella, there was, a much different trajectory for moving forward with publishing than is now, because Amazon really listened to authors and they came back and changed a lot of their rules. So it's really exciting. These are the rules for publishing something that is live on Kindle Vella as an ebook. The first rule is that you can't publish anything on Kindle until it's been live on Kindle Vella for 30 days. The next rule is it has to be at least 10 episodes. So you can't just take 3 or 4 or 5 episodes and publish them. It has to be at least 10. And then you can only publish that in one product. So like you could put it in. So my first book story that I've been publishing on Kindle Vella is going to finish in November. And so sometime by the end of December or the beginning of January, my co-writer and I are going to publish it as a Kindle book. That Kindle book will be considered like one product by Amazon. That one product can have multiple formats. So I can still have it in paperback. I can still have it in audio because it's all connected to that one product. But then I couldn't go on and put that book into, say, a collection of books, right? So like I couldn't do like a box set in a series because that's a restriction that they've put on
until
it.
It's removed from Vella.
Until you remove it from Vella. If you decide you want to take it down from Kindle Vella, then you have to submit that you want to remove it. And I think it can take up to 90 days to be officially removed from Kindle Vella. And
but you can publish it on, no, you can't. Unless it's wide on KU, then you could publish it on Radish.
Right. So if you don't publish it through the Kindle Unlimited program, and you just put it up as a Kindle product, you can also have it available on other episodic fiction platforms. Even while it's just on Kindle Vella, you can have it on Wattpad and Radish and chapters and like all the different things. You're not restricted from having it on other platforms as long as readers have to pay to read it. You just can't have it free anywhere. So hopefully that answers that question.
So my goal with this one is I have a pre-order set for this book right now. I'm putting it up on Vella. I'm hoping to have the book finished. The book is finished, but finished through Vella, where I still have 30 days wait period, and then I'll have it go live in KU. The problem is it's just difficult to get views on Vella right now, but it's just like any starting new thing. You know, it's going to be a while for things to grow. But my book is just sitting there, so I figured, hey, why not push it up? So somebody else asked, I have just finished writing book 2 of a 6-book series, romantic mystery and suspense. Is the end of the book 3 too early to get the 2 main characters together? Will my readers lose interest in other books if I do that, or will they get fed up if I leave it too long?
So your main genre would be the mystery. Go ahead, Victorine.
Well, I'm probably going to say the exact same thing Michelle was going to say, but you definitely want your romance to be the sub plot in your mystery suspense books. And so you want your main plot to carry readers throughout the entire series. And your subplot can be one of the threads that people are interested in and getting their people together. And that's fine. But if you're going to end that subplot in book 3, make sure there's other subplots going on, keeping their interest. And if it's something romantic like that, have another couple, and tease the other couple in the other books to let them know that, okay, maybe in book 6 this other couple will get together or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you want your main story to be your mystery suspense, and that's what readers are there for. And then your romance can be the subplots that people are coming along for as well.
Yeah. And you can always like break them up and get them back together again, keep the romance, because that's how like the TV series that go on for season after season, like the main couple will get together for a while and then something will come in and break them up and then they'll get back together again. And so that's how they keep the people that are there for the romance, which is me. Yeah. That's how they keep me invested. So.
Man, I grew up reading Nancy Drew, and her and Ned Nickerson were just always an item for like 40, 50 years, It doesn't matter. You can make it work.
I would say though, make sure that it's realistic things that pull them apart.
Yeah.
Because that can be frustrating. And I would also be very careful with how much physical intimacy you introduce the first time they get together. Because you can greatly decrease the tension. And I think that's what happens to a lot of shows where they just do such a great job building up this balloon, this tension, and then they just let them fulfill all of their desires and fantasies. And then you get bored after a while, especially when you start having them in a relationship. Just think about all the shows where you're like, I remember I would start a show and I'd be like so invested. Like I would stay up all night. I would literally go on IMDb and be like, when do they get together? So I could fast forward to that episode. Then I'd watch that episode and then I'd feel fine and I would never return back to the show. So just be careful how much you bring them together because you can lose your reader's interest that way.
Yeah. I always have something kind of there, like waiting in the wings to come in and break. Like there's something hovering over them the whole time that could break them apart.
Exactly.
A good one might be a love triangle, where you get to have both people, which I'm so excited. I'm going to write my first love triangle next year. And that's a great way to keep people going.
Introduce some new hottie to the story. Yep.
Just don't make him fall in love with your daughter when she's just...
Oh, you're talking about Twilight. I was like, what are you talking
about? Whose book is that? Oh, okay. So how do you deal with loved ones who don't believe you can be successful as an author or believe you can make it?
Prove them wrong.
Yeah, prove them wrong. Ignore them.
Yes.
Make them sign a contract that says any money I make from writing will be mine to spend on what I want it to spend on. Then when you make, 6 figures a month, it's all your money. You can do whatever you want. Probably a therapist type situation. It might get you into marital issues, or if that's, you're talking about a spouse situation.
Yeah. Honestly, the people in your life don't know anything about writing and publishing. Most likely. I mean, I don't know who all I'm talking to, but my parents don't know. My husband only knows some because he's been around me for the last 10 years, but in reality, he doesn't know, very much about the job I have. My kids don't know. My siblings don't know. My friends locally don't know. So they're not the people who are going to effectively push me forward anyway. Even if I have people saying, yes, you can do this, I believe in you, it's different than somebody like an author friend who can say, this is how we can do it. Did you write your chapter you wanted to do? Did you get this done? Like how exciting this is that, so I would recommend that if you don't have support systems, or even if you do have support systems in your like real life, to reach out and build relationships with other authors who have the same goals that you do. And together you can work towards them. Somebody that I know in my local life oddly enough, said that she was like a book blogger. And she said, I've noticed that the authors who have success are the ones who have built friendships and relationships with other people who are as focused and successful as they're trying to be. So it really does help to just have that solid core group of people that are other authors working towards the same thing, who understand what you're going through, who can really help you in ways that people in your regular life couldn't help you anyway. Mm-hmm. And then as you become successful, then those people in your real life are going to be like, wow, that's amazing. Because, you know, to them, being an author seems like the impossible dream, right? And it's not. And we know it's not. But to them, it seems like it is. And you're going to seem like the coolest person ever when you achieve it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've really met people in two camps. Either it's the camp of people who think that authors are like 1 out of a million actually make money, and it's like, I want to be a rock star. You know, that's such a lofty goal that you'll never, ever make it. Or you have the other camp of people who are like, they think all authors are millionaires, and they sit and sip their fancy coffees and type up these books and make tons of money on it. So really, people have no idea what it's like to be an author unless you're an author.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and it looks like here they say, that's true. I told my family I got an agent, and they were like, what's that? I think you have to define what success is to you. And because a broad term is, do you believe you can make it? Is making it publishing your book? Is making it, making $10,000 a month? Like, what is that exactly to you? And having different avenues you're willing to go down. Like you get an agent, but you might not be able to sell your book, but you still have a book, and maybe self-publishing is the way you want to go. So I would say, one, be open-minded to how the different paths you're going to take. Right now, I'm working with my agent to sub a book to traditional publishers. Like, to some people, that's the only way of making it. But I don't need a traditional publisher. I make really good money on my own as self-publishing. But I don't ever let a certain mindset inside of me dictate what success is to me, because I want to be successful on all different platforms in all different areas. So I think, defining what success is. And I'm like, I tell this to my kids, and it's probably not the most healthiest thing, but when they come home and they say so-and-so is being mean or bullying them, I tell them, work hard at school, get a good job, work your way to the top, then hire that person, and then fire them. And I know that's not very healthy, but it's just this, like, that's the way to get back at people who make you mad. And so, like, and I don't know who this person is, and I don't want to instill, anger or anything between any family. But the best thing that you can do to prove them, first of all, make sure it's something you want. Don't let people pressure you into doing something you don't want to do. But don't let their negativity, because like Michelle says, they don't understand the publishing process, and set milestones for yourself that you can celebrate and say, I am successful because I wanted to finish this book. Like, the number one thing I get told by so many people, when you tell them that what you do, they'll say, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to write a book. And as long as they're not asking me to write their book for them, which has happened, they're always like, oh, I always want to write a book. And you know what I tell them? I'm like, great, you should do that. Because number one, I know 99% of the people who either start writing the book will never finish the book. So just finishing your book is a success in and of itself. And then if you got an agent, that's the next step. Or if you self-published it, or you found an editor, like, make these milestone steps to your friends and family that you can then cross off, and you can feel successful for as who you are. And
and if you just have people that are outright discouraging or belittle you or make you feel bad about it, it is perfectly okay for you to keep your dreams private.
Tell us in the writing group. We will cheer you on.
But in your, interactions with your friends and family, if they are negative and they're pulling you down, they don't have to know anything about it. This is something that you can do all by yourself with your computer and an internet connection, and nobody else has to know about it until you're ready to tell them and show them how successful you are. So, yep. Wonderful. But now we're out of questions.
Does anybody do we want to talk about what's going to happen in the conference?
Let's do that. I do.
Take it away.
So we have shown you guys the amazing classes that we are going to have at the conference. And beyond that, on Friday and Saturday, which I think is the 15th and 16th, those are the 2 days of our conference where we're really going to have a conference atmosphere virtually. So you're all going to be able to participate. You're going to get to talk to us on live sessions just like this. Hopefully you'll ask more questions then for those of you that are attending. But we're going to have Q&A sessions for every category or track of our conference. So we have a craft section, we have a business section, and then we have like a specialty section where we talk about like lifestyle and mindset and stuff like that. We're going to have a separate live Q&A session with the presenters for those classes. And we're going to have a Q&A session on pen names with Bonnie Paulson. So if you're thinking about pen names or have already started some and you're struggling, be sure that you get to that Q&A. Hopefully you're registering for a conference. Then we're going to have a fun international like timestamp sort of Q&A panel. And we haven't figured out exactly how to do that, but we know we have a lot of people who attend our conference that live overseas and live in different time zones. And we want them to be able to participate in some live events too. So we're going to be setting at least one of those up with some of our presenters that are also overseas. We're going to have, who is doing this one?
Victorine and Kelsey.
Well, we haven't asked Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey.
Yes, Kelsey.
We're going to try and have like a presentation on alternate author revenue
Not Victorine
streams.
will do it by herself.
Yes. And then we're going to have some panels where we're going to have some of our amazing presenters on to talk about certain topics.
Oh, and alternative revenue streams is more like how to maximize your series. So selling merch, involving finding different ways to make money. So Kelsey's really good at marketing herself on social media, running her Facebook group. So other ways to make money that doesn't cost you anything or to maximize things that you already have, which I'm going to be going to because I really want to get into merch next year, especially when I'm writing a love triangle book. I want my fans to be able to pick who they're going to, sport that they want to be the love interest. So,
yep. And then our panels are going to include a panel on young adult romance, a rom-com panel, because rom-com has surged in popularity, not only with readers, but we have a lot of authors who are writing rom-coms. And it is a really tricky category to get into as far as understanding what it takes to make a story a rom-com versus a regular romance. We're going to have a marketing panel, and we're going to have a fantasy romance panel. So hopefully all of those are something that you'll really enjoy attending. We're also going to have some sprints. I think probably 2. We haven't settled the times yet, but we are going to have periods of time where you can come on and sprint with us and try and get like a lot of words down.
And those were some of our most popular things last year at the conference.
People really enjoyed those. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of some things that we've got planned for the conference. So there will be just a lot of opportunities for you to feel like you're talking and interacting with us and our other presenters. So it's going to be a really incredible virtual experience. We really wanted to make this conference different from other online conferences where you basically just get access to watching classes. We wanted it to be interactive and something you felt like you were a part of a group and a community, and that, it was fun and entertaining. So that is our whole goal and mission with making this virtual conference the best one you're going to find out there anywhere. So anybody have anything else they want to talk about with the conference?
If you haven't looked, join our Facebook group. We have links. Mm-hmm. Or you can head to teachable.com and just look for the Writing Gals conference. It should be there.
And I'll put the link in the notes on YouTube this afterward.
Yeah, so make sure you click on over there and join us. There's a ton of information already up for you to watch.
20 classes are now available for you to start watching.
And we've had people comment about how it's already worth it to them because of what they've been able to watch and see, especially if you are in the romance genre and are trying to make it into that area. There's invaluable information there.
Yep. So what are we going to be doing for our podcast series next month? Victorine, are you in charge of next month?
I am in charge. It's a surprise.
Nice. So I guess you all have to tune in next week and find out what we're going to be talking about for the month of October. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Something spooky, I guess.
Writing paranormal.
We could, because I'm currently writing paranormal too,
And
and you've got to
I am paranormal, yes.
I'm watching Vampire Diaries, so that
There you
worked out.
Ooh, there you go.
Sounds like we at least have a theme for next month.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We're grateful to have you guys as a part of our community and our group. And we can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.